Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, where we're about to get some more information about the KG8 incident and Bad's relation to Faraday. Thought we'd ask some other questions too, like about Miss Yu, something else. Alright, so this is apparently all he's going to talk about. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story, other than the people who were directly involved. You two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. Ooh, here we go. This is going to get good. The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Faraday, you, and I. As you already know, we three were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front. A facade? Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. And what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Devore. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring, but he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Devore was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. There's another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group? He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. It can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved in smuggling? I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder... Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go? If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece, I was supposed to protect them both. Miss Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. So then why not kill him too or frame him for the murder? Like, why those other two over Bad? But even I, who was supposed to protect them, fell into their trap. What kind of trap? The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap. You mean... you were fired upon? You were shot at that many times in one gunfight. And hit that many times too, apparently. No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu. Oh! There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. About when you first met Miss Yu. It was on the day the verdict of the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not? Yes, Faraday and I. We apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but... just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. She gave me a hard slap across the face. Oh, well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, then even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I suppose not. You said it herself. She never wanted to see either of us ever again. And after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG8 incident had come to a close. We continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? It was in pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial, related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them. Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG-8 incident, alright? For that you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth, I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rel was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. How dare you insult the daughter of a Von Karma? Whip him. Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. And that's all. Law is merely a tool. There's no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again, in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. Oh. That's okay. So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. Did we touch a nerve? I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial, to prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu, which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or prove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either. I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye, yeah. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary. Ooh, there we go. What you got? You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu. What? The KG-8 incident and this second KG-8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there's one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu, however, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd? Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already. I believe that there must be some reason for that. The two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason, huh? And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. If it'll help you solve this case, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident.
Ugh.
Still accidentally whipped me anyway.
There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. Let me see. So those are the Yatagarasu's special traits.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kudopian embassy. The Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence?
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about.
In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it?
That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure.
Just what sort of card is this?
Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
That's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now. Uh-oh. No, I wasn't done! Oh, no! Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes. His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood, I'll be there shortly. I'm not done here yet. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you?
Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Oop. No, I didn't get to look in the other room at all. I didn't realize that was going to end things. I thought for sure that it was going to send me into that room. Ugh. Judge, you're interrupting my investigation.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited.
For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony.
Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. Francisco, there's no need to further depress His Honor. But I'm not trying to, Miles. Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence? Your Honor.
Oh, yes, can I help you?
I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry, and I would, except that the defense attorney is yet to arrive.
She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we?
Very well, in that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case.
Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case, and maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth.
I've placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
Hold on, I'm not done. I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. Can I leave? Oh, I can't. Okay, wait. Oh, hold on. Let's talk to Kay. Oh, sorry, mister. I'm a little busy right now. Doing what? Well, I'm looking for something. Uncle Bad told me to, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's go. I don't want to interfere with the girl, lest Detective Bad get angry. Yes, agreed. Alright, there we go. Let's see what's... Wait, she... Oh! I suppose it's impossible to enter or exit through these windows thanks to these bars. I suppose you're right. Actually, that's not true. I bet a person of small stature could slip in. Francisco, would you care to help me test my theory? Uh-oh. Whip him. Drat, I must remember to be more tactful around the vertically challenged. Oh, wait, what's, we've already looked at all this. Was this table here all along? I suppose so. Well, clearly it's out of place. When you take the sofa into consideration, that table is much too tall. I get the impression the two are not meant to be used as a set, Francisca. I knew that. It seems she's lost her calm sense of judgment in her eagerness to defeat me. Okay. Oh no, it's you. Never mind. Do you have anything else to say? Television is the same model as the one in Defendant Lobby 2. Looks like the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies. Yes. The two rooms are basically the same, huh? I didn't even get to look around this place. I'm wondering if I even need to. What an incredibly strong scented herbal tea. I fear that more than being relaxing, the scent may make one a bit heady instead. Okay. What about you? What's the matter, officer? I've been standing here forever, sir, and I really need to go to the bathroom. Why don't you just make a quick trip? The nearest one isn't that far, is it? No, it's a short way down the hall beyond these doors, but I don't want to be blamed for anything that might happen while I'm gone. So I'm gonna hold it. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe can be a positive influence on the force after all. What about you? Sir, nothing to report, sir! Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job? Looks like we have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this guard can have fun in a waking nightmare after being awakened from his dream. Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now. Alright, wait, what's this over here? Nope, that's not what I want. I'm just trying to represent the intense scrutiny. Why isn't it? Because we've already looked at that. I want to look at this. Evidence that Miss Yu prepared is just sitting here on this table. You know you can't just walk off with it, right? And of course I do. Miss Yu must have been caught off guard by her client's sudden accusation. I wonder how she would have defended Mr. Rell in that case if he was still alive. I wanted to read through that. Alright, what do we got here? So this is where the evidence related to today's Kodopian embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yes, finally we can now take a look at the evidence itself and not just data about them. Wait, let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed, I want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder, too. And why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Blech. Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. See, someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's also real to see the knife up close. I feel like we're missing some stuff. Oh, that was Von Karma. So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here?
No, that's right, I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help with the investigation.
Detective Bad said that? What a strange stroke of luck. Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Might as well flip through it, too. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, let's start with the easy one. It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who'd have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? It's never crossed your mind that you use your writing crop for the wrong purposes? Oop. This gun, it was originally used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Wait. Weird that it didn't say that. Mr. Faraday's organizer, it appears he was in the habit of using it. Looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down there. I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested in the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in this case. The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu. And it would also appear that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle, and I hope this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell might have made about being the real Yatagarasu. And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the embassy murder. This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Wait, can I give it a thorough read now? Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here. It appears to be a key. A rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer? Yatagarasu key? Detective Bad said something earlier. What's different about this time was that the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, the Yatagarasu. Okay. The Yatagarasu sent evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media, but not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe. And the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. Okay, Yatagarasu key, jotted down my organizer, okay. That's odd. What is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer. That certainly is odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff member was the gun, but if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell. That's the only logical conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. In that case, how do you suppose the knife ended up inside the courthouse?
I need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca.
Oh, what? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. Is it the key? I think it's the key. Like, they just kind of look similar. This Yatagratsu key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of that knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagratsu key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagratsu key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say?
It appears that you've finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are, in fact, one and the same.
But that's impossible.
Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate the possibility. Now then, let us examine the knife in a little more detail. And we'll examine this knife in the next episode. Alright, so we got a lot of good info. I don't think it necessarily moves my theory forward any further, which is hard because I don't want to lose track of that. Because something's not right about that. But this has all been good, helpful information. I just am trying to keep myself focused and not forget about that aspect of it. But anyway, I hope you guys are still having a great time with the series. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.